everyone, Nikki here. Today we're going to be creating a paper quill sunflower, perfect for our fall season that's coming up. So today's craft, it's pretty simple procedure. It just is a little time consuming, so you might take some breaks or work on your project, at your own leisure. Thanks to everybody that picked up their kits. I'm going to go over all the materials that you received, and then we'll go ahead and get started on our paper quilling. Okay, like I said, first things first, we're going to be cutting our strips into fours. As you can see, these are super long, so to roll these up, it would just create a really kind of large design, and we want like smaller ones for this project since it's a little smaller scale. So yeah, you could even grab a bunch of them, and what I've been doing is just folding in half. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then just snip, and they're in half, and then you can keep holding on to that so it's even, and then cutting it again in half.
I can barely hear you. Are you looking for a class on Canva?
All right, so yeah, now I have a bunch of my my paper strips cut into fours. So these are the three designs I'm going to be demonstrating. Super simple. We just have the basic circle roll, and then we have like the eye that will what you do is you kind of pinch the paper, it's pliable enough, then the glue kind of lets it stick in that position, and then just the little teardrop shape. So those are the three we'll be using for our design. I'm going to be quilling along with you today. I haven't made my finished project yet because to make two of these would take way too long. But I'm actually not even going to attach any of my Cricut cutouts on the board until I'm done. I'm actually going to just roll up all my paper designs first and then decide maybe I'll start attaching them to the sunflower first and then decide where I want to put the leaves down because it'll be like a little overlap. All right. So what we're going to do is grab our tool, and then you're just going to start at the end, and I'll try and get as close up as possible. And you're going to start it, put it in the little slit, and then roll it in. Keep your roll tight, and we're going to let it loose a little bit before we glue it together. Okay, so I have it all rolled up. Now I'm going to remove my tool. And then I have this little tight design. I'm gonna let it loose just a little bit, give it a little more shape. The more you let it loose, the more space it'll take up, and then the less quills you'll possibly have to make. So if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do, the bigger you make them, the less you'll have to make. So then I'm just gonna use, if you have a little toothpick or some sort of a tool to apply a little glue, that might be a good idea. Oops, excuse me. Sorry, my glue is being stubborn. Here we go. Because you only need a little dab. All right, so I just got a little blob of glue on there, probably a little more than I meant to. And then you're gonna hold it probably just for like 10 seconds. That's how quickly the glue will dry, and it'll set your design. Okay, and you'll probably get a little on your hand, maybe keep a paper towel. All right, so that's our basic circle. So you can just start making a little pile, quilling away, throw in some music maybe, just make it super relaxing. All right, so now I'll show you the teardrop. So same thing, I'm just putting my strip into the slit on my tool, rolling it up. Like I said, I'm keeping the design tight for now. And then I'm gonna let it loose a little bit. Okay, just about like that. So it's still the circle design. I'm gonna apply a little glue. Okay. And then I'm gonna pinch one of the sides, and this is gonna create the teardrop. Okay, so that's our second design. So like I said, I'm just making a little pile over here. It'll take some time. And the last one is the little like evil eye shape. So grab a green one, roll it up, same as we did before. This one you might wanna let even looser than the other ones we did, because that way you can do the double pinch. So let it loose here. All right, so now I'm just gonna apply a little glue again. Same thing right on the end here. Okay. All right, my glue is being a little stubborn. There it goes. Okay, so like I said, a little bit looser. And then I pinch both sides. Okay, and that'll make the little evil eye shape. So those are the three shapes I'm going to be working with, and I figure that'll be good, if we have a couple of the points here to fill up, to have, the teardrop or something with a little point on it will fill it out nicely. So why don't you start rolling your quills, and then we'll get back together. Okay, as you can see, I've been quilling away. I have my little pile here. That seemed like a lot of time, and I hope hopefully it's enough to cover my design. And if for some reason I didn't send you home with enough strips of paper, let me know. I have extra. Can always put more aside for you. It just depends on how tight you make your design or how loose you make it. Like I said, the looser, you know, if you let a little slack out, the more space it'll take up and still looks super pretty when we assemble it. So I'm just finishing up my last couple here. And like I said, hoping it should be enough to fill up my design. And we'll start doing that together. Just do one more little green one. I hope you enjoy this. I find it relaxing. Some people, it's not for them. It stresses them out. But you can totally take your time with it. Like I said, throw on some music, you know, enjoy a nice cup of coffee. It's not too difficult once you get rolling, if you will. Boom, boom. So yeah. And we're going to use the same glue to assemble and put everything together. Like I said, I'm not going to attach it quite yet to the background. I'm just going to work right on the cardstock cutout. Okay, so like I said, I'm hoping this is going to be enough, but if not, I'll keep on rolling. So what I'm thinking I'll do is start from the middle, just because we're going to be using the brown for the center of the sunflower. Now you have two options because I sent you a bunch of colors of brown. You could do it in, like, if you wanted to get really technical, because you know how the sunflower has like that darker outline. So you could totally try that, like just stick with the lighter brown in the middle. Totally up to you. So what you're gonna do is just maybe put a little dab, like I said, I'm gonna start in the middle. Okay, and then you can just make like yourself a little pile and you can just start sticking and holding the quills down, and they should be pretty good with sticking still. And then yeah, as long as there's enough glue for them. Okay, so I'm starting with the middle here, and maybe I'll see about doing that that black line for the sunflower, make it a little realistic, because there's like 2 dark browns I think, and then 2 light browns. So you can put them nice and close together. And as the glue dries, they'll become more secure. So don't be shy with how much glue you put down, because, you know, we want them to really stick on there. All right. I'm really kind of pushing them down here. All right. Keep going here. So like I said, I'm sticking with my light browns, and then I'm gonna try my hand at doing like a row of darker colored quills. All right. And then after this, the yellow should be super easy because you're just gonna follow along, you know, with the cutout. All right, so keep filling up the center and we'll get back together. All right, so I have all my lighter brown ones, and now I'm just gonna try to make it as circular as I could. I'm just gonna go around and do my darker browns around the edges, make it a little bit realistic looking. And maybe I need more glue. Like I said, it really doesn't hurt to have extra glue during this process because we want to make sure everything sticks nice. Cool. I think this is gonna look really pretty. So I'm just making it as circular as I can, and you can see, like I said, they're kind of pliable, so you can kind of squish things together if you want, if you have a space you didn't kind of intend to have. All right. Hopefully I have enough dark brown ones for this. Not a perfect circle, but close enough. All right. Okay. Oop, might need like one more dark brown. So close. Okay, luckily I have one more strip, so I'm gonna roll this up. And that should do it for our center. Okay, just rolling away here. Okay. Right. Try and make this nice and big so it takes up that spot. Okay. Cool. Perfect. All right. So there's the center, looking very sunflowery. Okay, so now you can go ahead and do exactly what, you know, that was probably the part we had to be a little more exact on just to get it nice and round. And like I said, if you wanted to mix in your browns and darker browns, that's up to you too. Both ways will look really nice. All right, so now go ahead and start filling in all your different yellows, and we'll get back together. Alrighty, I underestimated the size of design, so I did run out almost of yellows and oranges, but here we are. Got 2 petals left, so I'm definitely gonna have to roll some more. No big deal, so I won't do that on camera, but I'll just show you how I'm doing. Yep, so like I said, plenty of glue, everything's fitting in nicely, and it's coming along great. Hope yours is too. All right, so I'm gonna roll up some more quills and keep going. All right, I am slowly but surely finishing up my sunflower. I'm on my last section here. I did have to roll up some more, so I gotta make sure to put plenty of strips of paper in your guys' kits. So I think this should do it though. Okay. I have just enough here to finish up a beautiful flower. All right, very good. Use plenty of glue, everything feels pretty secure. And it'll dry on clear, which is nice. Voila, all right, so we've gotten through the flower. So next up, what I think I'll do is find a spot for my leaves. And I am gonna be attaching them before, just because, you know, the sunflower is gonna overlap. So I'm thinking like that is how I'll do it. All right, but if you wanted to have it a little less symmetrical, you know, you could do yours totally differently. It's totally up to you. If you wanted to do it more like that, that looks nice too. All right, so let's see. So let's find a good spot for my, I don't want to have to roll too many more greens, so I'm gonna leave it a little bit more like that. All right. All right, I like that. I'm just gonna carefully remove my flower and hold my section here where I want my leaves to be. And I'm just gonna do this, put some glue down. Yep. Just keeping my placeholder here so I don't lose track of where. Excellent. Okay, cool. Like I said, the glue's pretty strong, so this should dry nicely. All right. Okay. All right, so I have my green leaves attached where I want them. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and use a pretty healthy amount on the back here of the flower. So, excellent. Okay. All right, so I'm doing a decent amount of my craft glue here just to make sure my sunflower is super secure. All right, great. All right, cool. Flip this over, get it nice and centered here. Okay, cool. Press it down. Excellent. All right, so my flower's attached. So now I can just start filling in with my green quills that I made on the leaves. All right, so go ahead and do that and then we'll get back together. All right, this is coming along great. I just got 1 leaf done. I think I should have enough quills for my second one. I love the variety of greens and different colors. I think so. Looks really pretty. Okay, hope you're enjoying your project too. So yeah, I'm just putting all glue along here. Hopefully the templates here helped you too. It's definitely helpful for me as opposed to freelancing on the the old sunflower design. So, all right. So we're getting into the closing of this project. All right, so go ahead and fill in your last leaf and then we'll get back together and take a look at what the final design is. Yay, I'm finally done. That was a very long project, but I think it was worth it in the end. It came out really pretty. Hope everyone enjoyed this, and I'll be seeing you soon for another craft. Have a great day.